So I'm continuing with the recapping of this Zenith 1951 Zenith television. I'm replacing the electrolytic capacitors right now, and as I had mentioned, a lot of restorers will restuff these cans, but that's something I don't care to do if I can get away with not doing it, and that's what I'm doing. So I've replaced all the capacitors related to this can, and that's this one here, this one here, there's one here, and the fourth one is up under, let's see, let me get this straight again. It's 1, 2, 3, and the fourth one is right down here, right down in there. That's 4 capacitors. Now that this can has nothing attached to it, the leads are just sticking out, I thought I'd put my capacitance checker on it. I can tell you that this is totally dead. I think all 4 of these each measure less than a microfarad on my capacitance meter. So this capacitor is truly shot. And I'm assuming the same is going to be the case with this one here, and then there's one more can here. It's going to be interesting to see if I find places in the chassis to strategically put electrolytics underneath. I don't know, hopefully I can find places for them. This set, if you remember right, if you looked at one of my earlier videos, I don't remember which one it is, but this set I actually did tune in channel 3 off of my VCR. I could actually get it to work, but it worked very rough, and there was no horizontal sweep or no high voltage or nothing. So hopefully with the work I'm doing, I'm going to bring all that back. We'll see. I've completed recapping this chassis for the Zenith Giants 1951 Giant Circle TV, and you'll see that I've got electrolytics mounted all over the place. Here's one hiding down here. That's related to this can that was over here. This capacitor here is related to this can, this one in the center. I don't know what's easier, pulling those cans off the chassis, opening them up on the bottom and using a corkscrew to pull the guts out, and then stuffing thin capacitors up inside the cans. This way, at least, if any of these caps go bad, they're easily replaced. Might be a little bit more difficult to read the schematic to find out where these caps all are, but who knows 50 years down from the future from now if this set will actually find its way into a landfill somewhere after I'm long gone. Anyways, I had checked resistors, but I'm going to check resistors again before I take this off the bench and set it aside. And when I say I'm setting it aside, I have the power supply to look at yet, and that I'll probably put new electrolytics in that as well. But I don't have a test tube, a 5-inch or even an 8-inch tube to test the TV with on the bench when I finally get it going. I certainly don't want to put the 19AP4 tube in to test it. Metal picture tube that's kind of precarious. So I'm going to have to wait until I find a test tube. I have one that I'm going to maybe try, but I suspect that the tube I have is not the right kind of tube for testing a television. I think it's either an oscilloscope tube or a radar tube. I can't be sure. Anyways, but I'll give it a try, but I don't think it's going to work. So anyways, the only thing I need to do on this chassis right now is just to double check resistors. I have found a few resistors that have gone high out of spec, and I want to make sure that all of the resistors that are in here are at least within the tolerance that they're supposed to be. So I don't know when the next phase of video for this TV is going to come into effect. Probably after I rebuild the power supply and then find a test tube somewhere. Thanks for watching. One thing I forgot to mention that I need to add on. There are 3 cans in this chassis. This can, multi-section, 4-section capacitor. Here's a 4-section capacitor, and here's a 2-section capacitor. Now, this one here is completely dead. I mean, you can't even, there's absolutely no capacitance on any 4 of these sections. This one, on the other hand, the one in the middle, I think there was only one section that was really low on it that didn't have any capacitance to it. The other 3 actually were functioning. This 2-section one down here, that one, again, totally dead. No capacitance. I mean, point something I read on it. So there's no question that replacing capacitors all the way around in anything that's old like this set is a worthwhile venture. It's an automatic that you should really do that. And that's, of course, what I did. So that's just something I wanted to report.